Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Welcome to Dev with Excel. Alright, so in this video we shall be solving exercise 3.22 and that's the lint configuration. Alright, so in this video we are just going to be seeing how to configure the lints, the ESlint, right? So we are expected to add ESlint to our application and fix all the warnings. And this is the last exercise for part 3. Hooray! It's been a long ride and I'm very happy that we're able to achieve this, right? Okay, so basically what we'll be doing here is we are going to be going through the entire notes we have in this ESlint. We install the necessary dependencies that are required and just follow exactly what is given to us here. We don't need any other thing than to just follow exactly what is being given to us. So what is linting, right? It says lints or a linter is any tool that detects and flags errors in programming languages, including stylistic errors. So we just want to use this to be able to detect and flag errors. Nothing more, nothing less, right? Okay, so let me just do this. Now, this is my VS Code, and here is the setup folder for this exercise 3.22. It's just a duplicate of this one for now until we update it. So this still contains the same files and folders as these, right? So we won't be using this, rather we'll be using this. So let's copy the file path and then let's cd into it. But actually we don't even need to run it. We don't need to do anything npm run dev for now. So here is what we'll be doing. We are just going to be following exactly what is here, just like I said, right? So let's do this. uh, okay, so let's scroll up again and let's start again. Let's start afresh. All right, so the first thing we want to do is we want to be installing this, right? So we simply just copy this and then we paste it here. But before we do that, let's see what we also have here. Let's go to the package JSON so that we can monitor the dependencies being installed. So we paste that here and then we hit enter so as to install it. All right, so while that is installing, the next thing we want to do is after when that is installed, we are going to run this npx ESlint dash dash init, and it's going to help us with these configurations as well. So when this is done, we are going to be running this code. So we could just copy it and then wait for this to be done. This should be done in a jiffy. It shouldn't take too long. Now, ESlint helps to flag and detect errors, right? And that makes work much more easier. All right, so this is done. We can see that here we have ESlint slash JS and also we have ESlint. So the next thing we want to do is we want to paste this code so as to have this configuration. So we run this. Okay, so it's going to ask us a few questions. So we are going to answer these questions exactly the way it's given to us here. So the answer to the first one is syntax. So we simply just scroll up and we select and we hit enter key. So syntax has been selected. The next one is what type of module does your project use? CommonJS. We come to CommonJS and then we hit enter. Which framework does your project use? None. So we select none of these. The next one is does your project use TypeScript? No, it uses JavaScript. So we enter no. Where does your code run? Node, not browser. All right, so it says, would you like to install them now? Yes. Which package manager do you want to use? npm. So we really don't need to do anything too much, right? Just follow exactly what is being given to us. Okay, so So having done that, it says successfully created this folder, right? So sorry, this file. So now we have a new file that has been created for us, which is the eslint.config.mjs, right? Okay, so inside of it, let's click it. So we have it here. So we have it here, and then this is a configuration the same as this one for now. So it says we will reformat the configuration file from its current form to the following. So let's just copy everything we have here, right? That's from the exports. Export default. We use it to replace what we have here. Then we save. That's that. So the next thing we want to do is we want to make the ESlint. We want to make use of its recommendation, right? The ESlint recommendation settings, right? Therefore, we could just copy this line of code here, js.config.recommend, and then paste it immediately after the opening array, like that. All right. So the next we want to do is um you want to continue building the configuration file, right? And then you want to install a plugin that helps us with style related rules, right? So here we simply just copy this, and then we come here and then paste, and then we hit enter to run. So while that is running, the next thing we need to do is, after that is run, we need to import the stylistic JS, right? So we could just come here and then copy this stylistic JS line of code and then paste it here. Let's give some spacing, and then let's update the export defaults. Now the defaults here is going to contain every file we have here, including these new ones from plugins, right? So this is going to stop somewhere around here. We have the objects and the array closing. Okay, so it's going to start from around here. I hope this is correct. And then we paste it here. Let's save. Okay, yes, so that was correct. So the next thing we want to do is we need to go down as well. If we want to inspect and validate any file, right, we simply just say npx space eslint space the name of that file .js, right? In this case, let's check npx eslint .index.js. Before that, let's click on index.js. Let's see what we have there. We all know what we have here, right? This is what we have, which is a working code. Now let's paste that code there and then let's run it. Okay, so we are currently running or trying to inspect index.js. So we're having a lot of stuff there. So it's saying reference error, JS is not defined. Okay, JS is not defined. Where can we get that? Okay, so we actually skipped something. Here we skipped this part. It says import JS from ESlint /js. So we copy this, and then coming to eslint.config, we paste it around here. So let's save and let's run this again. Let's look at our index.js since we are targeting this file. Let's take note of any changes that occurs. All right, so we have 209 problems or errors, right, already in this file, right? So that's what it's saying. Okay, but we really don't know what it is right now. Okay, it says expected line breaks to be LF, but found CRLF, right? Now, these have to do with line breaking in Unix and Windows, respectively, right? So let's still proceed and see what we need to do next. So where did we stop at? We stopped at this part. So we could also just do npm run lint, right, by adding a lint to our script. So we just copy this and then go to the scripts. That's where we have the package JSON. Then we can just do that after the dev and then put a comma. So let's save this and then let's run. Okay, let's not run yet. Let's see what we have next. Okay, it says now the npm run lint command will check every file in the project. Let's check that and see. Let's copy that and then let's go to index.js and then let's paste it here. Npm run lint. Okay, so this is seeing a lot of errors here already. You've seen a lot of errors here already, but the errors are not yet displayed here, right? Okay, so let's proceed. So you can actually just read these errors that is given us, but most of them are the LF and the CRLF, right? So there are ways to ignore or to set them to not affect your code. All right, so next you want to do is it says here that files in the directory also get checked when the command is run. So we want to ignore this, right? So we could just ignore it by, let's go back to the ESlint.config.js, and to ignore it we need to copy this object into the export default, right? So where can we put that? um let's place it somewhere around. We can just place it somewhere around here. That should work. That should work. So let's run this. Okay, I'm having an error here. Let me control Z. Let me see if I can just place it below and then let's save. Okay, so let's run this and see. um Not to worry, we are still going to have the correct code by the end of this module, right? Okay, so it says this causes the entire disk directory to not be checked by ESlint. Okay, I think we need to actually know exactly where to place this. Hmm, let's find it. Let's find it. It's going to be inside. Let's place it somewhere around here. Okay, I think this works. Awesome. All right, so no errors anymore. All right, let's try to load it and see if we don't get errors. I think yeah, this works. So this is actually able to detect our and to inspect for errors, right? Now it says this causes the entire disk directory to not be checked by ESlint, right? So it ignores the disk directory using this line of code in the object. Okay, all right. So we are gradually progressing. So also now here we are just trying to add different measures to inspect our program, right? So you can choose to add yours. You can choose not. It's not everything that is actually given here that is required for every project, right? It depends on your choice. It depends on what you need, right? So now we need to paste this inside the roles objects. So we look for where we have rows here. Yes, we have rows here, and then underneath this part here I think we can just paste it. Now you see we have single colons. The moment I save, just notice what is going to happen. I just saved and then this turns from single quotes to double quotes, and the single quotes here all went off. All right, so these are things that we should put in, we should put into consideration and we should take note of. All right, so we can still choose to add more measures to inspect our code, right? So we can choose to add this as well to our rules. Let's just add this to our rules. That's no trailing spaces and the likes. Then let's save. Let's see what's happening in our index.js. Okay, so let's run npm run lint. Let's run lint and see what happens to our index.js. Okay, so we are having an error already. Errors are definitely going to happen, right? But here is the thing. After all said and done, there's a complete configuration code given to us here, right? So even if we have errors here, we don't need to bother about that. We simply just copy this entire code, right? And then we delete everything here and then we paste our newly copied code, right? So this does not have any errors in it. All right, so now let's run npm run lint. While that is running, let's still come down and see what else we can do. It says, note, when you make changes to the eslint.config.mjs file, it's recommended to run the linter from the command line. Okay, this will verify that the configuration file is correctly formatted. Okay, so these are all the errors we have, 279 errors. Let's go to index.js and see what we have there. Okay, um, let's run npm run lint again. Or okay, let's only run for index.js, right? If you recall, there was a line of code we used to just run index, the one for index, right? Let's search for it. Yes, npx ESlint index.js. Let's see what this brings up. Okay, so this is what we actually have. Okay, let's see if we can run this code. Let's do npm run dev and see if okay, yeah. So this was what I was actually looking for. I don't know why it actually took so long to come up. So here we can see all this. Let me just delete this part. So here we can see all the warnings and the errors, right? So here we can see, starting from here, we have these squiggle lines, right? It says strings must use single quotes. Now this is what we defined inside this ESlint settings, right? We here we said stylistic slash js slash quote error when it's no, not this, sorry. Where do we have that? Okay, so here quote, it's expecting quote to be single quotes, right? Now this is giving us errors. Now coming back to the instruction, it says the instruction here says add ESlint to the application and fix all the warnings, right? So yeah, we could just choose to change every of the double quotes to single quotes, and that takes care of it, right? And we're also going to do that for the semicolon to work for that. But we can also just come to the ESlint and then do the necessary changes here. So here you can see that we have 207 errors here. Let's change this single quote to accept double quotes. Let's save and then let's run this code again. Let's see if some errors get ignored. Yes, now we can see that we are actually having some squiggle lines for data that are wrapped in double quotes, but now all the lines are gone, right? And as we can see, we have just 187 errors now from 207, right? So these are the ways we can actually fix this, and we gradually fix them until we are through with it, right? So this is where we are going to be stopping in this video. You can just take your time to study more on ESlint, fix the necessary warnings you want to get fixed, remove or ignore the settings you need and don't need, right? So it's all up to you now. So with this, I'll say thanks for having me in this video and see you in the next video. Bye.